What is up, what is up, what is up, my peeps? It's yours truly, Landry, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are reacting to some updates about India Love. The video is brought to us by Omizi, so when you guys get a chance, we would hop over there to let him know that you find his video via my reaction and that you decided to stop by show some love and support by leaving a comment. So now without further ado, let's jump straight right into this, after of course full screening this and then checking, okay, the volume is pretty good, and then hit play.
Streamer India Love has been trying to prove for the past couple of months that everything about her has changed. She's taken on this new walk of life.
Oh really? We shall see then.
She's not going to be this mean girl bratty image that she once has, and she's actually going to grow up into a more mature version of herself. But after a couple of choice interactions over this past weekend during DreamCon,
Man, what's wrong with that, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Change sometimes is a good thing, don't you think?
I would say that that same old India Love never left.
Should I hear my phone? I'm already irritated right there.
Brother. And I wish I could say it was
What?
just that one, but there are a couple other incidents that let
She
me
was just
know
having
that
fun.
her attitude
what's wrong
has
with
been
it?
the exact same. Every time somebody corrects her or tells her no, she acts as though it's some sort of disrespect. And at this point, India Love is not being misunderstood. She's repeatedly showing people who she is. And based off of a conversation that I had, I think the issue is bigger than just
That guy in the
attitude.
background looks
It's
like
something that plagues her and other streamers vastly across the industry.
what's one
I
called?
think it's
Fetty
like
Wap.
the parasocial relationship of being a chat viewer. So I think being kind of in an echo chamber of your own doing through a fan base can be an area where you can misstep.
If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. Don't disrespect me by watching all of my videos, being all up in the comment section, but not subscribing. Now, back into the video. India Love has this strange relationship with her image and the internet. She is 30 years old, and not saying that's a crazy thing because I myself am pushing 30. I'll be 30 in like less than 30 days. But she still has
The
this
big
bossy,
3-0.
bratty, young person mentality about it. And it shows up in all these viral situations in which she is acting as though she is the star in every situation. Everybody is disrespecting her. She's always on edge, etc., etc. And the sun and the stars should revolve around her. First and foremost, I think it's very important to lay down the
So
landscape
you mean to
foundation
say
as to who
she's
that was. That wasn't just
self-centered
some random
and a
beef
little bit
that India
narcissistic?
Love. And even if it was, it kind of wouldn't matter. But that is JD Witherspoon, friend of the show, JD Witherspoon, somebody who I've known.
Who's
for
JD
some time
Witherspoon?
now, had multiple conversations with, and some of you may have watched as a child on his channel.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't really keep up with the whole celebrity thing / internet people. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know
some sort of
like these people by names and stuff. So you know what I'm saying?
Around and adjacent to it, he is the son of John Witherspoon, Pops from Friday.
Oh, okay.
Wayne's Brothers show.
I remember
he's been
watching
around for
his
multiple
movies
times and
back in the day.
into these celebrity games. I just needed to get that out there. I think it's also important to note that even though from the angle of this video specifically, JD does look at the phone. When I had the conversation with him just last night, he acknowledges, and in other angles that we can provide, it also is pretty clear that he does indeed look at her phone.
Okay. So I still don't see what's wrong with that.
JD, and confirmed by him when I talked to him, had any sort of malicious intent when he was looking at her phone. To me, it looked like some sort of normal interaction where somebody was scanning the room. Phone there. Oh, it's live. Okay. And we can even back that with India Love's own words about what he said after he looked at her phone.
He's talking about, oh, it should've went IRL, like, nigga, strange.
Without even me having the prior knowledge of the conversation based off of what JD said, it's a pretty safe assumption to say that, maybe he thought to himself, I should stream. Hell, after all, JD is a streamer. To say that it was lame that a streamer who probably didn't realize that he could stream or wasn't streaming or whatever the case may be said to himself, hey, I could have been streaming here, is lame, is a little weird. I don't think that there was any malicious intent as to him looking in your phone. The thing that was up on your phone was the chat. Chat informs you about him looking into your phone. This on guard mentality, this I'm the center of attention, to delve out the name.
Is it just me, or I still don't see what's wrong with their interaction?
to Jay. I just think that it's strange. Mind you, she could have clearly turned to JD and asked him, or as the kids would say, checked him about looking in the phone, and I'm pretty sure it could have been cleared up and squashed in 1 second. But hey, there's a lot of confusion going on right there.
Why?
And the issue isn't even really that India Love was wrong, it's just how quickly she was to get to the disrespect of it all. And I wish I could say that that was the only
Okay, show us.
that happened at the basketball game, but shortly after that situation, DreamCon security repeatedly told her and asked her, hey, can you move, can you leave the basketball court, etc., etc. And instead of simply just moving, this person's doing their job, they're trying to, you know, situate whatever they had going on. India Love did an India Love.
I know, but you like pushing me. I don't like you touching me. But you are. I'm right here, but you don't have to touch me. But we can literally be right here. Oh, that's not that deep. That's really not that deep.
For what it's worth, another security guard.
Boy, I would have hate to work for these type of events as a security person, because boy, dealing with all these internet personalities and celebrities is a fucking headache, bro. These motherfuckers think that the world revolves around them.
Was doing what he normally does. Can security be overreachy and pushy and all these things? Sure. But at the same time, he's just trying to handle things in the best way that he knows how. And if we were to just heed the warnings here, God, I can't believe I'm defending somebody that's technically a law enforcement officer, then maybe we wouldn't get to this situation. And I don't think that this situation was the worst of it all with India Love, but you've got to remember she has this image about herself. People already feel like she's this quote-unquote bitchy person. And when it rains, it pours for her. This is about pattern recognition after all. So when you take the JD clip, when you take the situation with the security guard, and then you take the other 2 interactions at DreamCon.
These are our seats. They put us here.
We're not moving guys somewhere else.
Let me call, because they put us right here. Oh, he said
That look like Wale. Bro, she doesn't owe you anything, bro. Just because you are her fan or supporter doesn't mean that she has to go the extra mile for you. I mean, of course, you know, this shit is kind of debatable, but shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm guessing it's just for a picture. I mean, she could have, you know, went ahead and just took a picture with him. But she, you know, maybe she was having a bad day. Maybe she just didn't want to be on camera. I mean, she was streaming, so she definitely is on camera. So let's take that out. So maybe she just didn't want to take a picture, and then, you know, that's it. Maybe she wasn't feeling too well, and then that's it, bro. Why are niggas making a fuss about everything? Like, this is crazy.
I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to sell to an audience that you have this newfound attitude about yourself, where you are trying to be this better presenting person. Again, I don't think that all of these things are the worst. There's explanations for why she did this, why she did that, why she did the third. But if I'm trying to sell a new image about myself, I certainly wouldn't be doing things like I did at DreamCon, or even worse, the most blatant example, the traffic situation.
You have to wait. You have to. Okay, and this is a public situation going on.
Come on, my baby. You know better than this. Come on, man. You can't be doing that, man. You're blocking traffic, bro. You can, like, let them pass, and then, you know, once they are kind of far away from you, you can carry on doing your video, man. Slash taking your pictures, or whatever it is that you were doing. Come on, man. You know better than this.
You have to wait a second, sir. We're not doing anything wrong. Please give us 1 second. We're not bothering anybody. Please. You could go around. Go play, go play, go play.
Oh my gosh, bro. The internet, bro.
Go around.
Really, India? Blocking traffic for a mid-TikTok at best? This is the larger problem of all of it. She only evaluates the situations according to how it can affect her or impact her. She wants the TikTok, so the driver should have to wait. She wants to remain on the court, so security should just repeatedly justify the rule. She doesn't want to get up to maybe show some fan appreciation for somebody. Again, maybe a little bit of a reach, but it is what it is. So she'll sit down and ask this dude to bend down. Her chat says that JD is looking at her phone, so JD immediately becomes a lame in this situation. I think if you really wanted to, you could paint a narrative about India Love based off of all these multiple clips that have presented themselves over the past, 5-6 days. But these clips only become worse when you realize that, hey, pattern recognition is real, and she's done stuff like this plenty of times before.
Okay. No, ma'am. Okay, I'm just.
I mean, shit, if the staff asks you to please stop recording, the best thing to do would be, just to stop recording, and then, when you're outside, you can carry on recording. Shit, yeah, man, shit. It says India Love crashed out on an employee who respectfully asked her to stop recording inside the store multiple times while she was streaming. She's a weirdo. She did not have to do all that. She's a effing bitch. Shut your bitch ass out.
Waiting for her to grab her stuff. She's a weirdo. She did not have to do all that. She's a fucking weirdo.
Wow.
Kick me out. She's a fucking bitch.
Oh my god.
Whoever the fuck that was.
The DreamCon security
Whatever.
interaction follows the exact same pattern as the store situation. There is an employee that is trying to do their job, follow rules, that is making all of $9 an hour, trying to, get some bananas and some chicken thighs so that they can go and cook at home. I don't even know what they're cooking with bananas and chicken thighs. Produce has parasites right now, people. Stay away from it. Here comes India Love immediately minimizing that person. It's not because she doesn't understand the rule, but it's because she doesn't understand why the rule should personally impact and affect her. Instead of complying, she immediately challenges an employee in turning a basic rule into some bigger confrontation. What makes it even worse, and I think shows more about who she is that, of course you linger, you try to draw it out, you're a streamer. I guess that's where we are now. But when she leaves the store, she automatically starts just insulting and throwing names at the employee. To me, stuff like that is just so weird. It just shows a lack of consideration as a whole. And for what it's worth, she did the same situation at the Streamer Awards, just in a different form.
Breakout Streamer of the Year went to.
Oh, I saw this.
Congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai. Shout out. Boom, 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 boom.
FaZe Adapt had just won the biggest award in his life, really solidifying him in the streaming space, coming from being where he was and growing to the place and space that he eventually is.
Yo, FaZe Adapt is an OG in the YouTube scene, especially the gaming scene. That boy was with FaZe for like the longest, and then he's been like doing his thing. He's been banking for sure, and yeah, I mean, I'm guessing him winning the Streamer Awards was a nice thing, but I don't think it meant that much for him, or maybe it did, and I just don't know. But yeah, but I just think that, man, the guy he's well off, he's doing great in life. Him winning an award, it's okay, I guess. He ain't gonna do much, but yeah.
Now, but India Love disagreed with the results, and instead of just waiting to go home and be on the stream and give your 2 cents like most people would, she decided that was time for her to shine, ran on stage and said what she decided to do. Now, for what it's worth, she would go on to apologize.
That was a Kanye
for the
moment.
Situation, because she recognized ultimately how it diminished FaZe Adapt's accomplishments, and I do believe that apology was driven by the chat, which we'll get to in a minute, because the community was slandering her as a whole. But months later,
I mean, even if it was a fake apology, at least she apologized. Something's better than nothing.
Everyone else must accommodate exactly what she wants. This is this repeated pattern of entitlement followed by confusion. India acts impulsively, people criticize her, she explains her intention, she apologizes and talks about growth, and then another situation happens because the actual reaction did not change. That's what makes this whole recent transformation so hard to believe. She knows how to describe her problem after the damage is done. She just cannot seem to control these situations when it is happening.
That's the whole reason why God allows making mistakes. He knows you're going to make mistakes, and mistakes are designed to turn you to Him. You get what I'm trying to say? He don't want me to be perfect. He don't want me to be cookie cutter, a saint all the time. He's okay with me sinning. You know why? Because He knows I'm going to repent. You know why? Because I get convicted when I sin.
Now, I want to make it very clear before I go down this rabbit hole that I'm going down. I'm not questioning India Love's faith or religious status. This isn't me challenging her beliefs, all these different things. It's more to show something greater that I will get into, as opposed to saying she's not a Christian or a believer of God or whatever the case may be. So India Love has recently made this spiritual journey that she's going on a part of her public image. And there's no reason for me to believe that these emotions are fake. She could genuinely be trying to be more disciplined and move differently, differently and all these things like that. But for what it's worth,
Maybe.
India Love seems to be more successful at explaining the person that she wants to be as opposed to becoming that person consistently and behaving like she should. To me, real growth is shown in the small and uninteresting
man,
moments.
we all
Leaving
have
the
to
car
fight
when someone
our
else
demons,
asks, leaving the court
flash
in
battles.
security asks, turning off the camera when an employee says that there's a policy, and for sure not cussing them out and calling them all types of names once you leave the store. Now, of course, none of these moments would create some sort of virality and people would be talking about it, but that's not necessarily what she would be searching for, because she's simply trying to demonstrate this maturity and consideration that she hasn't had before. India Love's problem is not that she's making mistakes. Everyone does, right? I make mistakes, you make mistakes, we all do. The problem is that each mistake seems
Why is she looking at you? Why is she crying?
That her feelings, content, and intentions are more important than everybody else around. She appears to view some sort of boundaries as disrespect. When an employee says no, she hears that they are targeting her. When security asks her to move, she believes that she's owed some sort of debate. And when Chad accuses someone, she immediately believes the worst about that person. And I mentioned something earlier in the video about what I think the larger and greater issue is. I do think that that is a portion of it. When I sat down with JD Witherspoon to have a conversation about this whole India Love fiasco and debacle, he'll love that I'm hyping it up with some of those words. We came to an interesting conclusion and tidbit here about how the chat can drive these social media creators to say, do, and act things that they probably wouldn't do.
I mean, the chat is their whole lives, right? You know, they're always screaming, chat, 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 chat. What do you expect, man?
If I grew up, obviously, in my 20s with one of these, and live streaming was a thing, and also making content and being on people's radar to that level was a thing, I can see how it could make you paranoid, for sure. That's my first time ever getting clip farm. That's the word. That's the thing. I think that's more the chat than her. I don't know her personally. I have nothing negative to say about her.
You said it was the chat. What do you mean by it was the chat more than anything?
I think it's like the parasocial relationship of
being, like the chat drove her to do what she did.
They like to ride.
But I mean, at the end of the day, the choice was her, and she chose to act upon what the chat was saying.
Like, where I genuinely tell them, like, yo, real talk, you guys don't really know me as a person. We are my supporters. We're friends to a degree, but I don't need you to like fight battles for me if we don't know each other. So I'm not gonna lie to your face and say things like I love you. I can't say that. I don't know you that well to say I love you. So I think being kind of in an echo chamber of your own doing through a fan base can be not necessarily a downfall, but just an area where you can misstep. I think that's kind of like people who get a little too lost in the sauce of the internet.
So while she may be trying to take on this new spiritual journey and awakening, she still has something that is controlling her and plagues a lot of the streaming industry. But for India Love specifically, she already has this reputation that she's fed into for quite some time. Immediately in that interaction with JD, she turns to see what Chad is saying. Chad was giving her the validation in these moments, and she gassed up and hyped up that situation for the chat. No different than the situation in the store. If you look at the chat on screen, you can see that they are egging on the situation as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's false. She does
So nosy.
play into this bad girl identity. She could be in more control of her community or just not lay into them as well. The need for validation from the teeny boppers of the world is a very interesting place and space. But we do have to recognize Chat's involvement in how India Love is going about navigating her life, which is scary. She's 30. This is why I think it's harder for her to fully take on this new identity and new image that she's putting out there. This is why she keeps falling back into these bad behaviors, because she has James 369A who stole mommy's card.
Well, despite
her OF
what the chat says, right? You still, I mean, you still have to, I mean, you are the person, you are the huncho. So, you know, you decide what happens and what doesn't happen, right? So the chat can ask you to do something, but the ultimate choice is yours. You can either decide to act upon it or to not do anything. So, yeah.
Clip eventually become another speech about growth. And the whole time she's reading that little box in the corner of her streams to get validation about if she's doing the right thing or if she's doing the wrong thing, etc., etc. India may genuinely want to be a different person, but two things need to happen. One, it needs to appear while the camera's already rolling. People are going to keep saying the exact same things if that doesn't happen. And two, you got to disconnect with that chat. That chat is not your friend, mamas. They're not doing you no favors at all.
Alright, y'all, and so those were some updates on India Love. As always, yo, if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, / hit the bell icon to stay tuned for more. But most importantly, don't forget to hit that super chat / donate, as it is the best way to support your boy. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.